Hey guys, and welcome to our latest episode of the Unbothered podcast, where we're going to be breaking down America's favorite fifth sport, MTV's The Challenge, Double Agents, episode 10, aptly titled Amber Alert. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook groups, The Challenge Unbothered, Reality TV Unbothered, and you can follow us on Twitter at MTV's The. So let's go ahead and break this down. Get naked in here.
Feels so much better with it off.
I know. I'm like, gosh, I'm hot already just talking for those like 2 minutes. All right, guys, so welcome back. So if you do not remember where we left off the last time, in the most recent episode of The Challenge, Lady Vengeance, we saw Teresa get sent home by Casey after Amber, B, and Darrell had a little bit of power, so they got Teresa out. Casey got her gold skull, and we're pretty much going to bring it on in. Corey is now paired with partner number 6, Amber M. He really is the Black Widow of the season as far as male partners go. And we're just going to dive right into this newest episode. And like all the other episodes, they start off by showing them returning back from the crater. Casey's feeling good. She's got her gold skull. There's only 2 female skulls left. All the guys' skulls have already been taken. Kyle starts commenting how Corey now has, again, another new partner. And per what Anissa said last episode, before you were afraid to stand next to him out of fear of getting pregnant, and now it's out of fear of going home. And we're going to see if, that curse continues or not in this episode. And then we see CT and Devin talking about who they think the strongest teams are now as far as potential for winning. And CT believes Cam and Kyle and Leroy and Casey are the top 2 heavy hitter teams. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think it should be 2 other teams? Let's discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. If you said Casey and...
So Casey, Leroy, and Cam, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. It could be Nam and Lolo if they could get along, but that's not happening, so, yeah.
Anyone else think that that's a pretty fair assessment, that those 2 are so far sitting as the strongest and dominating teams as far as getting closer to the final? Would you put somebody else in the top 2?
Concur.
What?
He concurs.
I said Amber, and I'm like, which one? That's concerned.
Well, how about Amber B and Darrell?
I don't,
not yet.
Darrell's been kind of low-key not doing anything yet, so except good commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, his commentary has been pretty on point. I think I agree at this point in time that Cam, Kyle, and Leroy and Casey are definitely 2 of the stronger teams. I mean, Cam and Casey are the 2 strongest females aside from Lolo as far as physical strength goes. So I think that's a pretty fair assessment. And I kind of wondering if CT and Devin are having this conversation, because I don't think CT wants to stick with Big T, and we know he's trying to get his skull, and he knows he's going to have to steal it now. So I almost feel like this conversation is kind of like if I think these are the strongest, do I want one of these people as my partner, that kind of thing. So I can definitely agree with that. And then Devin, tells CT, hey, if I win again, you're my number 1. I will make sure you go down. If it's a guy's elim, make sure you get your skull. And then Nam would be number 2 because he likes Nam as far as the guys still remaining in the house. But he does tell CT if they do win, he is not going to let Gabby volunteer herself to go down unless they're positive it's a female elimination, because he understandably doesn't want to risk going in himself and losing the skull that he has. Would you do that if you were Devin, or would you take the chance so your partner could get their chance at a skull? anyone.
Is she freezing for anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You froze.
Oh, I'm freezing?
Yeah.
Okay. That's so stupid Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. Do you need me to repeat it?
Yeah. You'll have to do a little part over again.
Thanks, Wi-Fi. That's what happens when you get hit with winter storms. So Devin told CT that he is not going to let Gabby volunteer herself down into elimination unless he is 100% positive it's a female elimination. If you were in his position, would you do the same thing, or would you try to be like, all right, I might risk it just for the sake of my partner to get their opportunity? What do you think?
No. If I have the skull, I'm gonna like protect it as much as possible. Plus, you can't trust her. You can't trust anybody in this game.
No one.
Plus, she's making out with Fessy, so.
Yeah, we're going to get to that too.
I know we are.
I actually fast forwarded through most of that scene because it just makes me cringe. Yes, he makes me cringe, and I just when he speaks, I'm just like, can you shut up? Like,
I don't like when guys say, when Fessy said, she's been a hard egg to crack. Is that what he said? I don't like that.
Or when he was like, oh, I'm an introvert.
Right.
Like I said, did you just learn that word in college and you just use it without knowing what it means?
Pretty much.
Like, I don't know. No, my friend. No, you're not. And then they like start making out, and I just fast forward because I'm like, I don't even want to watch. I don't want to even want to watch any scenes with him in it. He just makes me cringe. But Gabby does kind of, it's like weird. Like, I don't know why she's falling for his crap, because she even calls him out and she's like, you know, I can tell that you only care about yourself and about winning. Like, you don't give a shit about anybody else. He's like, what? Me? No. You know, you got to get rid of Devin as your partner and make me your partner. And she like calls him out about only wanting to win for himself, but yet she's falling for his tact and like falling for him. I don't get it. Maybe she likes that type of ego and guys. I don't know, but I don't
Maybe it's part of her gameplay.
Maybe. I mean, hopefully her boyfriend approved. They're still together, so I guess he didn't care. And from what I heard, like, Fessy hasn't talked to her since the show.
Right.
I think he said that on one of the Aftermath episodes.
He did.
But whatever. Okay. So then they go into the next day, and we see Nam and Lolo discussing their partnership and their issues with bonding. This conversation was very confusing because I couldn't tell, like, I'm like, is she talking about them as friends, as partners? Like, is it romantic? And like his response to her, it's just weird. I don't know if this is an editing thing. It's a weird conversation.
It is a weird conversation. And even on, like, I watched Aftermath and Devin asked about it, if it was the challenge relationship or if it was like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and he still didn't answer. So I don't know if he doesn't seem like he's being evasive. I don't know. It's weird. She clearly thinks there's something more than he seems to act like there is. But.
And I thought I had heard or read from a different person I was in the house that said when the cameras weren't around, he was more like engaging with her.
Yeah.
And like they were kissy or something. And then when he knew the cameras were around, he was like, you know,
stand off.
Not close like that. Yeah.
I don't find that so weird though. I mean, but he seems shy, unlike Fessy, who claims he's shy, whatever. You know, he seems shy, and if you're on camera, you might not want to show that. But if you're off camera, you know.
Which I understand, but that if you want to do that, that might be something you need to agree on with the person you're engaging with, especially when they're Lolo.
It's true. I was going to say,
Lolo
I feel like
the way she
people would
is.
probably understand and feel the same way, but she's...
Leave the cat alone. He does not want to play with you.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
My dog is chasing the cat. I apologize.
Understood. Mine does that all the time. Honestly, I would really like somebody that was in that house and that was around and saw and interacted with them enough to like comment on it, because she's going to give us her side, he's going to give us his side, or no side. So like, I need a third party to come in and clear this up for me, please. I hope it gets addressed at the reunion, because I feel like that's the only way that get cleared up, because their relationship is confusing, and I don't want to put it all on Lola and be like, oh, she's just crazy, because at the same time, as a woman, I'm also like, is there more and we're just not seeing it? And he's getting better at it.
I would tend to side with her more if I had not seen the way she was on Chance versus Pros, because she was still the dramatic, over the top, ridiculous person that she is in the Double Agents. You know?
Yeah, I just feel like this is a different level of crazy than we saw in Champs. I don't know.
Yeah, but you could still see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she just hit it.
No,
better.
I'm not saying that she is, just getting a really bad edit and she's not kind of loco as it is. I just am wondering if there is a little bit of reason behind it, like real substance as to why she's being this way. I don't think we're going to find out until the reunion. Hopefully someone chimes in that can be honest about it. But their partnership is imploding 100%, regardless of if it's a romantic thing. Side note, I noticed this when I rewatched it, and we talked about the editing on this season. I believe this conversation actually took place after the daily that Devin and Gabby won. Because if you look at the scene where Lolo's sitting down and she's talking to Nam and she's getting upset, in the background is the board of all the players. Mm-hmm. And at the very top where they put the winners' names, it says Devin and Gabby.
Oh, you're so sneaky. I didn't pick that up.
Mm-hmm. I noticed it the second time around.
Yeah.
And it was not like that when they came back from the crater, because Devin and Gabby's name were all the way at the bottom of the name of the teams. And then it was at the top. So I feel like that conversation actually didn't happen as early as they showed it. So I don't know why they put it in that way, because they showed the other piece later. I don't know. But just a little tidbit if you go back and watch and notice that. So then after that, I am backfeeding in somebody's microphone. I don't know whose it is. Amber B is now crying about not taking her chance to get the skull. This happens every episode when the people up the top don't go down and get their skull. They cry about it the next day. I should have went down. I should have went down. I should have went down. Okay, well, you didn't. And Big T, being a good friend, is very encouraging to her. And she's like, you don't know that your only chance of getting a skull. Like, you might win today. You don't know what happens. There's still some skulls to get. And wow, Big T, you were very right. She does get another chance. Like, she was predicting the future. And then they throw in a Gabby confessional where she believes Amber B is fake, manipulative, and plays the victim. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Sure. I still like her. I don't mind her gameplay.
I love Amber B.
I've said, I do too, but I've said all along, you do what you have to do. So if she has to shit on people, that's what you do. It's the challenge, people. Come on, everybody lies.
I agree. I don't know if I would use the word manipulative. Now, obviously, I'm not in the show. There is editing involved. So Amber could have been saying or doing things that we didn't see. That's why Gabby is making the comments she's making. I mean, I can kind of see her being like she always plays the victim because she just doesn't seem to be somebody who really likes confrontation. So she just kind of gets emotional when she gets overwhelmed, and Gabby sees that as playing the victim.
She doesn't like confrontation. I think she said that in there.
Yeah. So I think that, maybe she just gets emotional about those things, and it can be overwhelming sometimes, and you have to release it somehow. So they take us to the daily elimination, and it's mostly a puzzle-based, not daily elimination, daily challenge. I always say daily elimination. The daily challenge, and it's a puzzle-based challenge called Black Sand Ops. And essentially, you have to dig around these poles and try to find 10 different pieces that are color-coded for your team. And when you get all 10, you can put them together as fast as possible to match a totem key. What did you guys think of the challenge, this particular daily itself?
I liked it because I thought it was funny when they were showing people hiding Devin and Gabby's pieces. And he's like, just look for the ones that were already dug up, But I'm not going to lie. I thought Nani and Josh might actually squeak out the win. And then they just crashed and burned. So I guess that's to be expected. Sorry, Frank.
Poor Frankie. Okay.
He's got nothing to say. Come on.
I just don't like the way like Nani's really been acting with Josh. Like I feel like Josh is rubbing off on her, and it's not a good look for her. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
Understood. And I can definitely see where you're coming from with some of that.
Yeah.
So when they kind of start off, Corey's kind of like gaslighting Amber up, like, yeah, we're going to do really well. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, but okay. Lolo and Nam got some jokes. I like how Lolo said, what'd she say? If we win today, that'll determine the future of this partnership. And Nam goes, we won't win. Oh, just kidding. Haha, we will win. And I'm like, subtle shade. I'm like, that language barrier isn't so thick after all. He gets it.
That was awesome.
And then I just have to say, Lolo is fast as fuck.
Every time they have to run right at the first, she's literally the only person there. That was crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't want to see her in a final either, because when there's running involved, she's just going to be gone.
Yeah.
Before anybody else has even been like, oh, did I tie my shoes? Oh, where'd Lolo go? Halfway
do you think that's because she's an athlete?
Oh yeah, I mean, and the fact that she's a
that was a joke. She says that all the time.
Which she said it in this one. In my profession as being an athlete, we usually have a mediator, and it's called a coach. So like when you don't, get on the thing, but I don't have a coach here, and it's just being really difficult. And I'm like, you never had like a difficult friendship or something? She's something. But yeah, she's incredibly fast. I'm always just like, God damn. I'm always impressed because I'm slow as hell. And some teams are helping each other and some teams are not. So like Leroy Casey, Josh and Nani, if they find each other's pieces, they're like, hey, over here. Some are trying to rebury other teams' pieces when they find them. Mostly everyone against Devin and Gabby. They see it and they bury it. I find it a little interesting that Fessy was okay with burying their piece, since he's trying to put his piece in Gabby, but whatever. And
oh my God, that was great.
Thank you. And then I love Darrell's commentary. Either we ain't digging deep enough or we're stupid. Got to give it to him. Great commentary. He is. I love him so much. He could do nothing, and I just love him. Devin and Gabby finally find their first piece, I think, after everybody else has found at least one or two pieces. And then surprisingly, Josh and Nani are the first to get all 10 of their pieces. And Nam appears to kind of hurt his back a little bit, I guess, from all the digging. Yeah, I know.
They never really addressed it again, though.
Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear a spoiler, fast forward like 15 seconds. They probably will because Nam goes home due to an injury.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this is the injury and it's just going to get further aggravated to where they're like, you can't perform. Which is really unfortunate. I hate when they go out with a physical injury before they even really get to show us completely what they're able to do. So anyway, he keeps going. He doesn't quit, because, you got to carry Lolo's ego. And Nani and Josh end up losing their initial lead. I don't know how you lose this. I get it's a puzzle, but it's not that difficult.
I didn't think it looked that difficult either. I mean, you only had the bottom
10 pieces.
Was in a V, and then you had the face, and then you had the hat or whatever the top was. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, Nani maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it was more difficult with the actual pieces than it looked on TV. I don't know. Yeah.
Me neither. I mean, I understand Nani may not be the strongest at puzzles, but Josh is supposed to be decent at puzzles. Like, you mean to tell me?
Whatever. Josh is not. He's just, whatever. He's as dumb as a rock.
I know. So they lose their initial... Oh, you're going to blame it on the alcohol? Okay, Devin.
Yes.
Dial over here.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose their initial lead, and then Devin and Gabby end up getting their 10 pieces after several other teams have found their 10 and are starting to try to solve the puzzle. And they have a pretty good strategy, in my opinion, for memorizing it. Gabby takes the bottom 5, Devin takes the top 5, and then they just come together. And I think that that's pretty smart because I don't know why no one else thought of this, especially these veterans who've been doing similar things like this before, and people had done that in the past. When you're a partner, you remember this set, I remember this set, and then we'll come together and put it together. But I guess Devin and Gabby were the only ones who thought of it that way. But whatever. So CT and Big T actually think they finished their puzzle first and asked for a check. Fortunately, it was not correct. So Devin and Gabby keep going, and they end up winning.
I was upset that CT and Big T did not get their win.
I know. I bet you it was like 1 or 2 pieces that was probably like backwards or something.
And he was being really sweet about it too, saying how that she was surprising, him and doing really well. And
yeah, she was taking the lead on putting the puzzle together, and we've seen a lot of times where people like finish the puzzle and they're incorrect and it's like 1 piece off, and by the time they figure it out, somebody else has already, gotten to them because puzzles are equalizers. It's Gabby's first daily win, Devin's second, and are you guys surprised that they won? Did you think somebody else was going to win while we were watching this?
I'm not surprised that they won.
Yeah, I don't discount Devin especially if there's a puzzle involved. I mean, yeah. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised either. I'd be more surprised if anyone else won, actually.
I honestly would have thought Big T and CT would have won because CT is not bad at puzzles and neither is Big T.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I really think it was a matter of 1 or 2 pieces probably just being in the incorrect order or something like that.
I think there was a piece all the way like at the very bottom because what they did, they pretty much pulled everything up.
Right. Because he was holding the whole stack. Right.
Right. And she was adjusting something on the very bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, very possible. So Devin has won his second daily, and he is on a new power trip. Oh, Devin. He's on a new power trip. He tells CD, yeah, you're number 1.
And he owns it, and he says, I'm on a power trip. Like,
oh, I know, but he got a little ridiculous this episode. And, we're going to obviously talk about it a little bit more. But if I was Gabby, if I was his partner, I probably would have reined him into, and I'd have been like, look, you already have your effing skull. I don't. Like, this is my shot. So you're going to hop in the passenger side and shut up. And you have a skull. It is now my turn. You're not the only one that won this. But his power trips are also very amusing. I do find them amusing as a viewer from my couch. And Josh knows that Devin still wants to target him. Fessy very much so believes it will be a girls' day. I have no idea what they're doing with this elimination, like, rotation. It is so different than any season. And I don't know if it has to do with all the girls DQing in the beginning and that threw it off, or if this was their original gameplay to keep the cast members on their toes so they didn't get too comfortable. Either way, I'm confused. I don't know why Fessy believed it was a girls' day. Maybe because, again, we know that there's still girl skulls to obtain. But he ends up, obviously, as we see later, correctly guesses it's a girls' day and just tells Josh, dude, relax. And the BB Alliance discusses setting up the house vote so they can take away some of Devin's power, because they are right. You're not going to get the house to vote one of us in when we have the numbers for the house vote. Like, it's not going to happen. And I think that Devin underestimates that a lot. And I kind of think that that's what Cam was referring to when she was like, you know, if I was in Devin's position, I wouldn't be hell-bent on revenge, because she knows that the numbers are on Josh's side, and there's no way Devin's going to get what he wants. Whereas with the Teresa thing, she knew numbers were on her side. So I think that's kind of what she meant by that. I know everybody was like dogging on her because of her whole thing about the revenge on your enemies thing. But that's how I took it. And Gabby discusses putting herself in. You know, she's like, I need to get my skull. I think I want to go down there. But this is what everybody says every single week they have the power.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go down.
She made
a
huge mistake. I'm sure, I know we'll get to that, but yeah.
Well, 100%. And then we'd hop into the igloo party. My favorite. I love the igloo. I know. Every time I see the lights just popping off in the igloo, I'm like, I want to be there. It's like my vacation destination spot. You know, I wonder if they kept the igloo in the backyard, because you know you can rent the house as an Airbnb.
I don't know.
I wonder if they kept the igloo. If I ever win the lottery and they kept the igloo in the backyard, we're going to go and rent the Airbnb.
Party.
But I got to win the lottery first. Exactly. I'll buy the plane tickets and everything. Okay, so Devin's ego now needs its own room. And he loves it. He loves it. His little sign, Big Brother Sucks VIP Lounge.
Heck yeah.
He is on another level.
Killing it on Twitter too.
You know he's going to get invited back. All of this is just going to make sure that he gets invited back.
I love it.
And I've seen a ton of fans comment, you know, God, his back must hurt carrying this season with this commentary and this entertainment. And I mean, they're not completely wrong. I mean, he has been a central point for entertainment and good commentary and just BS starting and stirring and zinging left and right, and him and Kyle teaming up together. I like Kyle and Devin as a team.
The thing that's so crazy.
I think they make a funny
The thing that's so
duo.
crazy to me, because I've liked him since he's been on the challenge. He's always been like that. So I don't know why people like him now versus he's always been a sarcastic asshole. He just always has been. Because
Bananas isn't around.
Yeah,
and before a lot of it was directed towards Bananas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what, when people found out that he was going to be on, when Devin was going to be on this season, it was like, oh, well, he's not going to have a storyline because there's no Bananas for him to, like, be all up on and blah, blah, blah. And he's obviously proved, I don't need Bananas here to give you entertainment.
Sure. Yeah.
I can do it perfectly fine with 29 other people that are here besides me. And I like that he did show that, because rivalries get old after a while. Like, I don't want to see 6 seasons of you yelling at the same person for the same thing. Gotta evolve sometimes. Corey basically continues to tell Amber M that she's going to have to go in because he wants his skull. And I don't know if she's just figured out that at this point her days are numbered and she might as well hype herself up, or if he's really, really good at gaslighting her. What do you guys think?
What? I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, what was the question?
Oh, I was like, Frankie like popped out in that back end. So I said, Corey essentially is telling Amber that she's going to be going in because he also wants his gold skull opportunity. And she's like, yeah, I'm ready. I think I'd want to take on like, Amber B or Nani. And I'm just curious if she just has finally figured like my days are numbered. Like I'm going to be going in. I might as well hype myself up. Or if Corey is just really good at gaslighting her.
I missed all that because I went to get wine, so y'all have to answer.
I think she knew her days were numbered. I mean, she's known it for like the past 7 episodes, basically. So why not hype yourself up? And if someone else is gonna hype you up, why not just go for it?
Are you talking about Amber M?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you think Corey did that strategically, or do you think Corey's not smart enough to gaslight her and, make her
I
feel
don't
herself?
think he has it in him to gaslight her.
I don't think so either.
I don't
No.
see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think he knew. Everyone else thought he was doing it because he wanted a new partner, but did he even say anything like that? Like he was hyping her up, but he didn't really.
Well, so, that's what people were saying is that he was doing it strategically because he wanted a new partner. But I don't think Corey thinks that far ahead, or that he's not dumb. Don't get me wrong. I like Corey, but I don't think he thinks that way. That's just my opinion.
There was one confessional he had in this episode. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something about Amber, it's been real, but you got to go in. And just the way he said it kind of made me feel like he was preparing her for the fact that she was going to go in. And he wasn't going to try to stop it. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Why, no offense to Amber M, but why do you want to be paired with the smallest female in the house when you are still trying to get a gold skull and you think realistically the only way that's going to happen is if I win, and I'm not going to win with this type of a partner unless it's like straight puzzle and they're really good at puzzles. So I think it's probably a mix of both. I don't think he was calculated about it, but I think he was just kind of like, I can't have this girl arguing about, I don't want to go in, so we just need to set the tone now. And I think it's funny that she wants to go against Nani or Amber B.
Why Amber B?
Because they're beefing from last week.
Like each other.
But she wants to win, right?
I know. But then
I guess she figured if she was going to have a shot, it would be against those two. I mean, who else would she go against that she thinks she can beat?
Big T, Gabby.
She wouldn't beat Gabby. There's no way.
But they're similar size.
I don't know that she'd beat Big T.
But as far as size-wise goes, those are her closest ones. I mean, Amber B is 5'9", 5'10". Nani is like 5'6".
But she's also this big, so maybe.
So is Amber M.
Yeah, that's true.
I just thought it was random for her to say Nani or Amber B, but she's friends with Big T and Gabby, so I can also understand why she wouldn't have said them.
Maybe
and
she's
Gabby,
like I work for a vet, and we call it little dog syndrome, where they're a Chihuahua and they think they're a pit bull, and they're just like, crazy. So maybe she has little dog syndrome.
In human world, we call that Napoleon complex.
Thank you. Yes. In human world.
It's okay. My dachshund has the same type of syndrome.
Exactly.
Especially when he's around bigger dogs. He's like, I'll take you down. I don't care. So Gabby obviously tells Devin that she wants the opportunity to go in, but he doesn't want to hear it. It's like, we don't know if this is going to be a guy's elim, and I'm not putting my ass in the line of fire. I have a skull. I already know these guys are going to come for me as soon as they can. I'm not volunteering myself. And he wants to put in Josh and Nani. because he's like, it's either going to be possibly a guys elim, or what if it's a double elimination? That's not an impossibility. It's been a while since we've had some of those. And they just continue to kind of fight over their choices. I get where Devin's coming from, but I'm also kind of on Gabby's side, because I know if I was Gabby, I would be like, you're going to shut up. I'm taking my opportunity. And ultimately, if they don't agree, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody hasn't agreed yet. So it could come down to where TJ's like,
That'd
My
be so good.
problem-
What do you think would happen if they didn't agree? Do you think they would? What would they
Well,
do?
we haven't found out yet. Yeah, what they would do.
But what do you think? What do you think they would do?
I don't
I
know.
think they'd probably just go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The thing is, like, I was with Gabby, sort of. If I was in that position and I needed a skull, would consider throwing myself in, until I saw what Devin said about her. When she saw that it was the hall brawl, he was like, good, throw yourself in. And she goes, no. And she pointed to her face. So,
we were going to get to that.
yeah, I have a problem with that.
I
I don't think
remember.
she deserves a skull now.
Yeah.
Just toss her out.
You had your chance. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like I said, I mean, I'm kind of with Gabby. Like, unless they definitely say like it's a guy's gay, like you're gonna have to like get in the passenger seat. Like I said, honestly, I think if the power couple couldn't decide, I think it would be a thing where either they automatically go in, or the compromised team gets to choose who they want to go against.
Mm.
I feel like maybe. So I don't know if that's going to happen this season or not. It would be interesting, but I think the partners are all too afraid to see what would happen, and they're not even going to risk it. So somebody ends up having to cave into their partner's will. And then Devin talks to Cam and Kyle about their plans. And Kyle says, he's like a mean kid burning ants, and the challengers are the ants. Just seeing who he can burn first, because he's drunk on power, literally, and Devin admits that his picture would be in the dictionary next to drunk on power. And I am glad that he admits these things. It humbles him a tiny bit, a little bit, and it is amusing.
I like it.
And then, of
course,
course, yes. And then, Josh, per usual, has to insert himself into the conversation and tells Devin, I don't know why you're trying to get my friends to vote against me. It's not going to happen. And Devin's like, you're not welcome. Out. Get out. Out. And I thought that was so funny.
That was hilarious.
But he was just like, out. Out. Because it wasn't like malicious. It was just drunkenly assholey.
And then wasn't
Josh
it Big
tries
T that
to be,
came in and it's like,
no,
you
no
guys
more
need
of
to
this.
stop that?
Yeah, because Josh sat down trying to be like a silent antagonizer, and Fessy was just kind of like, come on, dude, let's go. And Josh's like, what? I can't just sit here. We're playing a game, right? And that's when Big T's like, really? Like, no more.
Josh is too dumb to realize he's not going to beat Devin at a mental, combat. Devin's always going to win.
He's already won against Josh a few times this season, so Josh is just really trying to get himself as many options as possible for the next rival season, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard Big T say something like, you guys are going to risk our alcohol time. So I have a feeling like production might have said
I didn't
something.
catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Interesting.
I didn't hear that either.
I'm going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would
pretty
like-
sure that's what I heard.
I would
And then
want to go
someone
on the
else said,
challenge.
good point.
I want to go on the challenge, but if they take away alcohol, I don't think I want to go anymore. Because then how am I going to get drunk and walk around my start fights.
Well, and there's almost no like makeouts anymore. If there are, they won't show it. So what's the point, right?
I mean, I would still be making out, but
Yeah, I mean, they
You
all
would be like,
oh,
was it Kayla and Bear were in like the outhouse or something, making out? Was that them? Did I just make
yeah,
that
they
up?
were in the back house.
That's gonna be Frankie.
Because usually they don't put cameras in the bathroom for privacy reasons, but they did in the bunker because the showers and the bathrooms were all enclosed. It wasn't like one giant bathroom like in a house. So they just had it like in the main general area, and that's how they got caught. Stupids. Look for cameras. You've been on the show enough. You know they're there.
Right.
Oh, people. So Devin continues to chat with Kyle and Cam. Like we said, you know, Big T is like, please don't argue. And as Chrissy pointed out, they don't want their alcohol taken away because they don't give them copious amounts of alcohol like they used to anymore. And because they're not going out like they did on previous seasons. Because when they go out, they can buy their own alcohol and they can pretty much buy as much as they want. They're not as restricted as they are in the house. And since this season, they go out by going to the backyard. Production provides them alcohol. So I can see what they mean. Too many drunken arguments, and then they're going to start restricting them because they don't want any huge liability fights going on. So I don't blame you, Big T. And I think that's probably why Devin left. So you may be right, Chrissy, because he doesn't want his beer taken away from him. The next day, Devin, I think it's the next day, it might be later that night, where basically Devin and Gabby continue to argue about his ego. And that's when she kind of like brings him down a level. Like, you're not taking me into consideration. And he kind of admits it in his confessional. He's like, apparently I didn't do enough digging today in the challenge because I'm digging a grave with my partner and I'm digging myself into a hole with her. And like I said already, I don't blame Gabby. I'd be a little bit frustrated with him too. But I just think she's just so all over the place with what she wants to do that she doesn't even know either. And then Nani talks to Leroy about, you know, herself wanting to go against Amber M. And they cut this out of the episode. I really wish they would have left it in there. Did any of you see the video of them celebrating their 10-year friendiversary?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's on.
It was so cute.
It was so cute. I really wish they would have left it in there. I think you can see it on the official Instagram page for Challenge. And it's also going to be on the Challenge Overdose fan page too on IG. But it was really sweet because it was like that day that they filmed that episode was the 10-year mark from when Nani and Leroy first entered the Real World house together, returning to Las Vegas. And they've been doing these shows together for 10 years and they've been ride or die friends. And it was so sweet, you know. Even if you don't like the Met's challengers, you have to love and respect that kind of friendship, especially on TV, because most friendships, especially in reality TV, do not last that long, and especially with very little drama and contention that goes with it too. And I really wish they would have put that in the episode.
Yeah, at least mention it.
Yes, like there was a cake and everything, and even CT in his confessional went, damn, I wish my friends would give me cake on our friendiversaries. It was really cute. It was so sweet. I hope they show it like either at the reunion or if they do a shit they didn't show episode. And they really should have put that in there. You know, I could have done less with the Lolo and Nam arguing, and I would have been happy with that little 4-minute segment of something sweet, you know, happening. But can't have happiness, I guess. Mm-hmm.
I have a question about Lolo. Do you think that who do you think she could be paired with that could handle her? Do you think there's anyone to be paired with that could handle her? Do you think so? I think he'd lose his mind. I think he would be so annoyed.
But that's just it. He would go off on her, and I think that would bring her back down.
Maybe
because I think what she wants from Nam, she wants that passion and reaction that she has because she feeds off of it too. And he isn't like that. Like, he's competitive, but he's stoic about it. And I think someone like CT would be like, look, we can do this, but I need you to get your head out your ass And this is
Yeah.
what we need to do.
Wait, you're freezing again.
Hang
What you
on.
say? Fix your Wi-Fi.
She's got bad weather. She can't help it.
Big brother sucks.
Hey, look at us.
Oh, so like she hasn't shown up at all the entire time.
Caitlin, talk. Why can't we hear you?
See?
Okay, so after Leroy and Nani had the little chat about her wanting to get her skull, it is now house deliberation time. But before that, we see Lolo and Nam talking about the votes with Casey, and Nam suggests, well, maybe we can volunteer to be the house vote and see what happens. Lolo shoots it down immediately. She's like, no, it's not going to work. You just want to get rid of me as a partner. And I'm like, hasn't she been saying for like the last episode and a half that she thinks she's going to need a different partner, like someone who gets her better in this, that, and the other? So you could have her opportunity and you get mad at him for trying to make that happen for you, for both of you, because it's clearly not working. And then that's when, Lolo does the I'm an athlete and I need a mediator, aka a coach, because I don't know how to communicate with my teammate. She's like, I think I'm too intense for him. I think she's too intense for most people, if I'm honest.
Yes.
And they just continue to argue and bicker, and Lolo is breaking. Nam is frustrated. He calls the situation so stupid, and she's like, I'm not so stupid. And he's like, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the situation. And honestly, when that happened, I'm like, are y'all fucking? Because that's the kind of petty shit that couples argue about.
Is she a virgin?
Yes. Okay, like virgin fucking, like fingers and stuff. I don't know. Everything but the penetration. Everything but the eggplant going,
The eggplant.
Where does it go?
Hole in one.
Taco.
Eggplant tacos.
Yay.
Oh my God.
I guess it could be the peach.
That's the butt. Well,
Nobody
does that
said
still make her a
well,
virgin?
do that.
That still make
This
her a
is
V.
edited, right? Like, cut this.
I
I feel like I say that every episode. I'm like, can we just end her? Cut that out?
And I keep it in, so.
I do.
You need to keep this in for sure.
We have a
Tia, the peach.
Eggplant.
You're supposed to know what that is. Like when I do that.
Peach.
We do. We know what it is.
Yay.
That'll be the inside hand gesture now. So that partnership is completely breaking apart. Amber M says at deliberation for the first time in like 10 weeks, I'm ready to go in now. You guys could like put me in. And everyone's like, yeah, we know.
I feel like I roll my eyes a lot this season.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. Just me too. She's good with going in. This is where we kind of, talked about earlier. Does she just know her days are numbered, or Corey just got her fooled? Darrell thinks that Corey just got her fooled. He's like, I don't know what he has been feeding her, but she ate that shit up. And now it is what it is. She's going to be going in. Lolo starts breaking down. Nam voices his desire to be voted in. And I like how even after all this like back and forth and arguing, Nam still tries to like present this as he's wanting to do this for Lolo. Like, I think I might be holding her back. This may be a good opportunity for one of us to get her skull, and then, blah, blah, blah. And it's like he's still trying to like do it for her, or like make it about her instead of it just being like, I can't deal with this crazy lady anymore, and I'm going to lose my mind if I don't get a new partner, or she might strangle me in my sleep if we don't get new partners. But either way, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, that ain't happening. It's cute, but we don't care. You guys are staying partners. We're going to watch this implode, and no one's ever going to vote Lolo into elimination.
Exactly.
Ever. Because no one in here wants to see her in elimination, and no one in here wants to see her in a final.
Exactly. No one wants to
And-
see, you're not going to see Lolo in a final because she's going to be way the hell forward, miles in front of you.
If this was a season where you didn't have to go into elimination to go to the final, she would probably go to the final. Just straight shot to the final.
Yeah.
Because no one would want to even try to be like, I'll just try to take her out in the final. We'll see what happens. But I'm not trying before that because I might go home. So she starts breaking down. No one cares. The voting commences. Obviously, Amber M and Corey get voted in, and Devin is disappointed because it didn't go the way he planned. I'm not surprised it didn't go the way he planned because, again, Big Brother has the numbers. So you are against Big Brother. You're not going to do what you want. Sorry, Devin. And so he discusses options with Gabby, and she doesn't want to upset anyone. It's like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do that. And she does at first say she doesn't want to put in Amber B because she doesn't want to blindside her because Amber B did not vote her in when she had power the week before. Despite the fact that Gabby thinks that she is fake and manipulative and two-faced and plays victim all the time, she at least is trying to be like, well, Amber B didn't do it to me when she had the chance, so I don't want to do it to her. Don't know what the hell changes between now and the elimination time, but right here she says she doesn't want to do it. So they don't know what the hell they're going to do. We still don't know if it's a guy's day or a girl's day. And then the next thing we do see the elimination. And as soon as they show us it's a hall brawl, everyone knows it's the women because the men have already done it. And once again, they edited or modified the elimination. I don't effing know why. I don't know why. This was pointless.
At least we got good quotes out of CT for it.
Oh, we definitely did.
That was the only exciting thing about it.
100%. And it's obviously revealed that Amber M and Corey are going in, and Gabby says she doesn't want to go in. She doesn't want to go in, and it's because she doesn't want to mess up her face.
Lame.
Lame.
Why are you here?
Lame.
Then why are you here? Like,
exactly.
People break bones and bust their faces just walking on this show sometimes. And you want to get the call.
It's Amber M. I could take her and I'm like so out of shape. Come on. Like she could have had her skull.
Even Frankie could take her.
Oh, I'll take her.
Caitlin could take her. And Caitlin's like 4'9".
Toe bag.
Where would you take her, Frankie?
You would take her to bed.
Very much so.
I believe it.
Be a gentleman. Take her on a date first.
She doesn't need a date. Have you seen the way she acts on TV? She doesn't deserve a date.
Yeah, date to his bed.
And don't say she was a hard egg to crack.
But tell her when she meets up with you not to wear the little weird mustache hair right here that she wears. I don't like that.
I want her to wear them so I could hold on.
No.
I'm done.
Her mini handlebars.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like the evil villain mustache in like the 1940s commercial or cartoons where they tie into the train tracks.
She's like,
yeah.
You should totally wear a hair that way.
I don't know. I don't have little brown hairs. I'll have to like get little fake mustaches and glue in my forehead.
Oh.
I don't know who told her to do it that way. She's very cute, but that is not a cute hairstyle.
It's not.
Not at all. So Gabby says, "Oh no, I don't think I want to go in, TJ." And TJ's like,
"Because of this."
Really?
I know, right?
You don't. And he tried to be like, she's the same effing size as you. What are you afraid of? But he caught himself and said, gnarly. We know what he really wanted to say.
Gnarly.
And everyone's like, we literally saved Amber M for a moment like this.
Yep.
And you don't want to take it?
Yeah.
Why, when you know that you are next to her, one of the tiniest people in this house, regardless of how fit you are, you're still 5'2" and like 110 pounds, if even that much. You're still one of the tiniest girls in here. And if you don't go against her, who are you going to go against? You going to go against Lola? You going to go against Cam? In a ring wrestle or something? Like, well, what are you trying to do? TJ's not impressed, and I don't know how Devin convinced her to do this, but she blindsides Amber B and decides to put her in against Amber M. And I started laughing because I'm like, I thought Amber M was your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know how pissed I'd be if I was 5'0" nothing and my friend put me up against a 5'9", 5'10" bitch in a hall brawl? In a hall brawl? Really? I would rather you against me.
I don't even understand what she was doing. She had the balls. I don't know what she was doing.
Oh yeah, I think she was just dazed and confused. And you're putting in Amber B. You know Amber B's probably got a best shot of coming back. So now she's going to come back pissed. This whole thing of, I don't want to put somebody in who's going to be mad at me, and then they're going to come back mad at me. So you did just that. So anyway.
She said she plays, was it rugby? What did she play? Or was that Casey? What did Amber B say she plays?
Oh, I don't know. I know Casey played women's football.
Something. She put on her helmet. She was saying, did she?
I think so.
So she's maybe tougher than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. Did any of you see her season of Big Brother? Because I don't watch Big Brother. I was just curious if she was good on the challenge, whatever they call them over there.
I've seen it, but it was so long ago I don't remember. And she was voted out pretty early.
Yeah, but because that guy was chasing her around, Caleb, so we never really got to see much of her. We just got to see how Caleb was chasing her.
Oh, okay. So like in the competitions or whatever, we don't know if she was like good. Okay. Because the hall brawl was not an indication of whether or not she's good. It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we just lost Caitlin. Caitlin is in Texas, so I'm amazed and shocked that she even has electric and Wi-Fi right now. So hopefully she'll be able to pop back in. And shout out to all of our Texans that are part of the Unbothered fam. We hope you guys are doing okay. I know this is a little late in the episode, but it just popped in my head. I know a lot of people are still going through dealing with electricity outages, no water under a water boil, which I guess means don't drink the water until you boil it first. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I hope I never have to go through that. So I know it's supposed to get warmer over the next couple of days, so hopefully things can kind of get back to normal for all of them, and Caitlin will be able to pop back in. But back to the hall brawl. So Amber B and Amber M are going in. Nani and Josh are pissed. I don't know what Josh is pissed for. Devin, you're a pussy.
He always
it's not even a conversation. I understand why Nani is probably kind of like pissed because she's like, I want to go in and I thought we were cool. And Nani's like, I've never gone into a hall brawl. Let's be honest. If it would have been somebody else that was in the hall brawl other than Amber M, I don't think she would have said those things. That's just me. And everybody thinks Gabby is very stupid for not going in. CT, Darrell, like, what's wrong with you, girl? What is wrong with you? Devin and Gabby. And then Devin's like, you can't be mad at me. And Gabby's like, well, I am mad at you. And he's like, this was your idea. Like, you chose to put them in. I followed suit with you. You could have put yourself in. Once we saw it was a women's elimination, you chose not to put yourself in.
Right.
We knew, seeing it was a hall brawl, it was the women because the guys have already done it. Why didn't you put yourself in? Because you don't want to mess up your little face. Then you shouldn't come on the challenge. And I like Nam's little comment, I root for Amber. his sly little smile because, you know, he purposely didn't say which Amber. And I thought that was pretty cute. And then, of course, the Amber's brawl. And it's not a typical hall brawl. They have to run through each other to get to the other side, to grab the balls that are there. They each have 3. And whoever gets their 3 and the other bucket first wins. It's so stupid. Do you think they did this as an equalizer because they knew Amber M was going in? Like,
it's just that it's not as exciting. Like, I want to see people duke it out. I want to see, you know, them run straight into each other, and then I don't know. I wanted like violence.
The only
blood.
Yes, that's what I said. We want to see bloodshed. We're not here to see this shit. Only time that I've ever been like, okay, you know, whatever with them, including the like getting the balls and stuff, was on Rivals 1 when it was CT and Adam versus Bananas and Tyler, and they had to like do the 4-way run into each other. That makes sense. Or it was might have been the same season. No, it wasn't the same season of Rivals. It was a different Rivals season where the partners, one was blocking and the other one was trying to like run the small space. I think it was Rivals 3. I just remember Robin. I forget his name. Nate? I think it was Robin Nate. I just remember that one with Dunbar and Tyree. So I don't understand why they edited this one. So stupid. And it was kind of a sad hall brawl. There were some funny moments, like when Amber B totally hip checked the shit out of Amber M. And when she pushed her the fuck out of her way at the end when she was going to get her 3rd ball in, and when Amber M lost her ball and just kept running.
Yeah.
And CT has perfect commentary. Yeah.
It was pathetic. And I can say that as I sit at home, you know, drinking wine, watching the show or whatever.
From your couch.
Yes.
Yeah, I like CT's commentary. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need anything? Oh, you dropped your ball. Do you need me to get that for you? I love it.
It was hysterical.
It was very, very fun. He is great commentary. He's definitely golden. And Amber B, hands down, wins.
If you guys could add elements to the hall brawl, what would you add to make it more interesting?
I don't think you need to add anything. Just have it where they're running straight at each other, like hardcore.
Yeah. It needs a hall and 2 bodies. That's it.
Exactly.
I would
the only thing
I would make them slide down a slide, and then they have to run at each other, and then they have to go run back, climb up the ladder, and go back down the slide.
Frankie, no.
Do you think Amber B would have still won if they didn't have, it was like a random ball brawl? Do you think Amber B would have still won, or do you think since if they didn't have the ball,
she would have just like stepped right over her? She would have stepped right over her.
She would have brought her over to the other side with her.
Just pick her up like that.
Yep.
I think Amber B would have still won because, I mean, the first time they ran through the hall, I mean, Amber M tried so hard to get way too low, and she basically got knocked the F backward, just boom, back. And Amber B, like, climbed over her to get to her side. Yeah. I think Amber B would have still won, hands down. I think it would have been a little less cringy if they didn't have those, like, that ball element. If it had just been the straight hall ball, it would have been probably a little less cringy. And so, you know, undoubtedly, Amber B wins. And she decides to keep Darrell because she's not trying to curse herself by being partnered with Corey. And Darrell is proud of her. He's proud of her that she showed her fight and she won and got her gold skull. And, you know, he's hyping her up like, Gabby don't even want to look at you. She don't want nothing to do with you after seeing that performance. Like, she's not going to want to face you now. So you're good. You're golden. If you were Amber B and you won, would you have kept Darrell as your partner?
I think I would.
Yeah, I would too. Or go to CT. One of the two.
I would
Same.
pick Mom to piss Lolo off.
Or
You're
you've
all
been
about the
doing her a
drama.
favor.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be pissed at that.
I don't think so. Not in this episode anyway. I don't think she would either.
Yeah.
She might
I
actually
probably
be happy
kept
with
her.
Darrell.
Yeah, I would probably kept Darrell because he's not a problem partner. I mean, he's always been pretty supportive of his partners.
Even though he's low
I mean,
key, it's still Darrell. We know what he can do.
and he has so much experience and knowledge with this game that it's a huge advantage to be paired with someone like him as a rookie. For sure, I'd have kept him as well. We only see a quick little preview of next week. It looks like the daily challenge is them hanging from ropes suspended above water. I don't know anything else about it. Lolo is freaking out even more, and we see a security breach alert. The last time we had a security breach was because Natalie left and they brought Ashley back in. Spoiler alerts, if you do not want to know what could possibly happen in the next episode, I want to fast forward a little bit, but there is speculation that the security breach is in fact Lolo leaving the house due to a mental breakdown.
Which would be a big thing.
I'm curious because there's been some theories and speculation about, did she really have a mental breakdown or is it because she needed to leave to go to training? And the reason why I kind of think that may be feasible is because in an interview she said, or it was like surmised, that she only got a couple of days rest from the challenge. So it was basically like right after the challenge, she only had a couple of days before she literally had to switch out all her suitcases and fly to training. So
Well, hey,
I don't know if it was a coincidence or not.
She's like a world champ or something now, so good for her.
She is. I'm just curious if the mental breakdown was just an excuse to remove her without people giving her shit for taking a spot on the challenge just to quit before the final to go do something else.
Right.
So I mean,
Are we
don't
sure
know.
that it's Lolo leaving next week? Are we sure?
We're not sure. That's what
We're
we're
not 100%.
Okay, because how about Nam if he was hurt and he's leaving?
Possibly, but I think he leaves after she does. I'm not positive though. It's a short period of time between two. It could be that too. The only way I think it could be Lolo is because we know it's coming. And I know there was a comment in the preview that somebody made about Lolo needs to leave all fully, or maybe she needs to fully leave. I'm not sure. So we're definitely going to find out though. Definitely going to find out.
And so who's coming back?
I don't think they're going to bring anybody back at this point.
Yeah, it could be a double elimination for all we know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because even though all 5 guy skulls have been taken, there's still plenty of guys without skulls left that they don't.
Right.
I don't think that they need to bother.
But why would there be a security breach though, if no one else was coming back?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I'm saying we're not sure, because the only time they did. I know, but the thing is,
it's gonna be Ashley again.
Oh God! In all the spoilers, in all the spoilers, it doesn't say that anybody came back. It only ever said the only person ever came back this season was Ashley, and I think they literally only brought her back because they had 3 female DQs in a row. If it was just one female leaving, I don't think they would have brought Ashley back. And it's literally because she still happened to be in Iceland and hadn't really left quarantine.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. We don't know if they're going to bring somebody back. I guess we're going to see if it's Nam that leaves, then they just have a female rogue agent, unless they both leave in the same episode, in which case takes care of itself, cancels itself out, I would think. So real quick, good, the bad, and the ugly. I did not write it down because I totally forgot. So I'm just going to go, I'm just going to go based off of what I remember. So the good is definitely the commentary from CT for sure, with the hall brawl, and even with Darrell and Devin throughout the episode. The bad is Lolo and Nam's partnership breaking down and the whole what the F going on with that whole partnership. And then the ugly was that hall brawl and Gabby not going down. I think Gabby would have won.
She would have won. for sure.
I 100% think she would have won. And she knows she would have won. And she's kicking herself before the elimination's even over.
She regrets it for sure.
Well, that's what happens
I think anyone would have won.
That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, it's not like you were running against Lola. Why didn't you go in? And Amber B's like, thanks for giving me my gold skull. And kind of like, you know, goes back to what Big T said earlier. You don't know. You might get another opportunity. She's a psychic. Amber B got her opportunity, and she got her skull.
Yep.
What are your guys' thoughts on this episode?
I mean, it was a little bit boring, but I still love it. Like I said before, my favorite season is whatever I'm watching, and it goes for episodes as well.
I'm glad they settled Josh down in the igloo before it got too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I said I'm glad they settled Josh down in the igloo before it got too crazy, because I didn't want to.
They didn't like throw a drink on someone.
I didn't want to see another drunken Josh bit. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm 100% there with you. I know viewership dropped quite a bit, but I think a lot of that could have to do with a lot of the, I think it was like 80,000 views less than last week.
Get out. That sucks.
It could be weather.
But that's what I'm saying. It could have a lot to do with the weather. I mean, we have a lot of people in our group that are from Texas, and they weren't able to watch, you know, for the multitude of reasons of what they're dealing with. And other people who are in other states that got hit with this winter weather, snow and ice, may have been in similar situations.
Pretty much was hurting.
Yeah, Florida was like the only state that didn't get any winter weather. So I guess we'll see what happens next week and see if the viewership jumps up significantly. And if it does, then you could probably attribute it to just Mother Nature this week. So,
Makes sense.
But I mean, the episode was fine. The commentary for me is what saved it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If we're ready, I have some member questions. And Lori asked, do we think next week's episode is going to be the one where TJ tells them no one skull is guaranteed? Like, no one skull is guaranteed. What do you guys think?
Maybe, but I almost wonder if he would wait until the girls get until they secure the last female skull.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So Courtney Gordon asked, if you could participate in any elimination, which one would you choose? That's a really good question.
It's got to be some sort of puzzle for me.
Mine's trivia. I couldn't do anything else.
Oh yeah, trivia. And I can throw a ball.
You're not going to be Josh.
I kind of like the one with the Jenna and Tori last season where they had to break the brick and fill up their wheelbarrow.
Oh, you think you could do that?
I mean, probably not, but it looks fun.
I actually like the ones where the other person like weaves the rope through, and then the other person has to go back in. Like I think I could do that. Maybe I'd probably gas out because I'm not in shape, but you know, I could unthread a knot.
I could probably do a hall brawl with Amber M.
Okay, wait a second. Anybody can.
Bad knee and all.
If I had to pick from this season, I would do a hall brawl because I'm bigger than most of the girls that are on this season. Or I think I would do well in the one where they have to pull the crate with like the weight balls in it and tip it over and then throw it through the board. I think I would do pretty well in that because I'm pretty strong. I would hate to do the knot one or like a pole wrestle because I do not have a very strong grip due to past issues with carpal tunnel. Mm-hmm. So my hands would probably cramp on me and I would just be like, fuck it, I quit, I lose, just give it to somebody else. I would do good in a puzzle one too. Just my fear with the puzzle ones is they always tend to be a game of chance. Like you just happen to get the right pieces for the other person. Right. If it was like a straight puzzle, like this is everything you need and whoever gets it first wins, I think I might be able to do pretty well. What about you, Caitlin?
I like the hall brawl and then the reverse tug of war. I really strongly. I'd rather do the reverse tug of war. Yes, but I don't know. Hall brawl, because exactly, I'm small, so maybe I can get through. Scroll underneath. Yeah.
There's me and Caitlin. She just dives under my leg. I'm like, where'd she go?
Where'd she go?
So we have one more question. This was actually asked by Frankie, and it's a very loaded question. He said, what's that?
I said, if there's like several like built in, let's break down.
We're just going to do one. He said, which of our group would you want to face in a physical elimination? Does anybody even want to answer?
To clarify, you could pick the members too.
I'm not going to answer that one.
I'm going to go. I would go in a hall brawl with Ivan. Where you at, boy?
I knew you were going to say him.
Only because I'm like a foot taller than him.
Well, if we're going just on height, I'm taking Caitlin.
I mean, honestly,
Sorry,
I wouldn't
Caitlin.
Who else would I pick? Tanya?
I don't know. Who out of us would you pick?
Oh, Caitlin.
Caitlin's getting ganged up on. Poor thing.
I'll take any of you bitches. I don't even care.
I'm going to take Jay Mitchell. I'm going to take him on in any challenge.
In an eating challenge?
In an eating challenge?
Sorry, Jay. Not that he watches us or anything.
Look, he'd probably beat me in an eating challenge. I would get one.
He did say he would be Unbothered Valentine, though, so.
It's only a week late, but it's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. I just want to express how much I like the skull thing, and I was just going to show you still on the skull issue thing this week. There you go.
He is the official mascot for the double agent season.
I have an inordinate amount of clothing with skulls on it, so I'm set for the whole season.
It's perfectly fine. It's like I have an abundant amount of tie-dye.
I have one more thing I wanted to bring up. I showed you guys earlier. I think he's just like the master troller, like with this outfit.
He stole our idea. We did it first.
Taking all the glory of Devin. There you go.
It's funny you said that, and then you moved your iPad, and it like blacked it out.
Sorry. Sorry, Devin.
It's okay. He'll forgive you. Anything that we want to add, anything we're excited about or that we missed and want to chat about, other than the fact that Corey just lost his 6th partner and is once again a rogue agent?
No, I'm just excited for next week.
You know,
I'm excited for next week too.
Yes, this is why Corey can't get a skull, because every time it's a guy's opportunity, he's an effing rogue agent.
Have to go in. That's right. Is it smart though? Well,
no, because he can't go in if he's rogue.
No, but it's gotten him this far to where he can take someone's. I mean, come on. There's Josh. Josh has one.
I'm excited Chrissy's back on the podcast with us. We're just missing Joe now.
We need Joe back.
We're getting there. It's just hard, man, with life and adulting.
Hey.
They didn't warn us about this
and then
in
next
school.
week I get to meet Frankie.
That's right. In real life.
In real life.
Yeah. It's so exciting.
Let's hope.
Well, I might get to meet Joe and his family. I'm drunk. Sorry.
Yay.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I get to meet no one because I live in Maryland and everyone else was really effing far away.
Yeah, that's probably me too. And no one wants to come here right now. Well, Frankie's coming soon.
I'm going to Texas to meet Caitlin in April.
Yay!
So
You know who's coming to meet me in April? No one, because I live in Maryland.
We'll go visit Baltimore. No? Okay.
Baltimore has like the highest STD rate in the U.S.
So if you do come, Frankie, just wear a condom.
Just walk around with the condom on.
That's not even a joke. I'm not even joking. That's not a joke.
Anyway, well, now if you do, we can just go to the beach. It's just expensive, but it's close. It's only 2.5 hours from me. Ocean City, Maryland. I love that place. All right, guys, anything else before we wrap this up?
No, this was fun as usual.
Yes. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our latest breakdown of America's fifth sport, The Challenge. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook at The Challenge Unbothered, Reality TV Unbothered, and on Twitter at MTV's The. And that's it. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you guys next week. Stay safe and take care.